Welcome back, friends. We got another good one for you today. We're going to be going over my no-gi finals match from this past weekend at Jiu-Jitsu World League where I was able to get a double gold. They actually ended up interviewing me afterwards and I have no idea what I said, so I guess we'll find out together whenever that comes out. So let's go ahead and dive right into the match. This is my fifth and final match of the day and your girl was feeling it. We start with a little double guard pull, but she decides to come on top looking to pass. I enter in a half guard and I quickly try and go for my favorite half guard sweep of all time. I'm opening up the near side leg and trying to get on my two knees while at the same time controlling her other foot. Once I'm able to get up onto my knees, I start driving forward and I look to complete the sweep. I'm able to get on top and I'm immediately looking to pass. I initially try and step over the leg, but she does a good job of keeping that hook in, so I start working some staple passing. My goal here is to limit her mobility as much as possible. I want to squeeze those two legs together and start walking all the way into the mount or side control. She's giving me a bit of trouble here with her frames, so I'm trying to transition into a different guard pass. I start looking to get my hand to her hip and transition into a knee slide on the other side. I do a good job transitioning at first, but I accidentally leave too much space and she gets her leg in front of me. I have to clear that leg and then she puts in a knee shield, which leaves me pretty much in the same position I was passing before, which I don't mind too much because I actually end up in this position a lot and I like passing from here. I start controlling that bottom leg, trying to prevent her from using that as a butterfly hook to try and extend me out. It's tough to see here, but I'm stapling her leg with my other foot and I'm able to walk over both legs, and now I'm just trying to extend and flatten her out. She's posting with her hand and scooting out, which is making it difficult for me to flatten her out into side control. We end up getting too close to the other match, so we get reset. We end up resetting in the same position, and this time I'm using my shoulder to smash her two legs together, and I continue walking until I'm able to clear it and go to side control. She starts to be a little sneaky here, and she tries to lock up a bit of a Kimura. Admittedly, I leave a bit too much space here and she's able to lock up that Kimura, and I'm way too passive about it because I think I'm going to be able to step over the head and put her into an armbar. My confidence has gotten me in trouble before, and it almost got me in trouble again because she starts to swing and she very quickly enters into this armbar. For some reason, I'm still very nonchalant here, but I start to defend by pushing her legs down and I'm looking to step over the head trying to clear that arm. From here, I feel like I've sufficiently smashed her legs, so I start looking to pull that arm out and then I go to control her head, trying to secure my side control once more. I get a bit more settled in, and then once I've controlled her head, I pull my second arm out and I secure my side control. I immediately start looking for a high-calorie submission, one of my favorites, the key lock. I start to tuck my chin and drive pressure forward, looking to lock up that key lock, but she swings onto her side, preventing me from getting a good angle to lock up the finish. I abandon the key lock and just start driving pressure forward. I look for the opportunity to go to knee on belly, but she starts to turn. I should have tried to slide into the mount or go for a back take, but I didn't want to take the risk, so instead I opt to keep pressure heavy and wait for a better opportunity to go for a sub. Since I'm so deep on her head, I start thinking about going for an armbar with the near side arm stepping over the head, but again at the time that felt too risky as she continued to turn. She starts looking to frame my face, trying to get a little bit of pressure off of her, and this really makes me want to try to go for the key lock again. I start using my forehead to drive pressure on that forearm, trying to set up my key lock, and now I'm just waiting for the right moment to bring my arm over the head and start to lock up that Kimura grip. Just as I'm about ready to go, she starts to underhook my hip and she's looking to slide out. I want to resecure my position before I go for the submission, so I start walking towards her hip and I look to trap that arm again. She turns on her side, so I bring my knee close to her head to secure my position, and then I try to put my knee on her belly, but she begins to turn. I try to circle around to her back here, but she starts to sit up and I want to use my hips to bring her back down. She's able to briefly elevate me, put me into single leg X, and now she's going for this belly down foot lock. It's immediately tight, and I start to think to myself, what's more important, the ability to walk or a $5 medal? I think we can all agree it's the $5 medal. Thankfully, as I start to get closer to her and hold the head, I feel my foot start to slip out. I start using my forehead on her face here, trying to drive pressure forward, and eventually she has to abandon the footlock. Now my foot's not quite out, but I'm out of danger for the moment. From here, she starts to turn to try and get a better bite on that foot, but I'm able to hide my foot and bring my knee to the mat. This does, however, give her the opportunity to start inverting under, and I sit heavy on my hips to try and stop her from getting all the way under me. We stay here for a little bit because I'm trying to figure out what on earth I'm gonna do here. I'm keeping my knees pinched together so that she can't pull one of her legs out, and I'm kind of just hoping she starts to turn on her side. Props to her though, because if I was in this position, my neck would not be very happy with me. I would probably have to go and see a chiropractor. After a solid 20 seconds of me having no idea what to do, I start to try and control her wrist for no reason at all. And then finally she starts to turn, which I like, so I start to squeeze the two legs together and I look to go for the same passing options I was going for before. I start to hug the hip, squeeze the legs together, and I start trying to climb into the mount. Trying to keep everything as tight as possible, I keep pinching my knees, and then I'm able to slowly walk all the way into the mount. To defend, she starts to posture up, and I'm looking to bring her back all the way flat on the mat. But she starts to turn, so I decide to sprawl my hips, and then we end up with me mounted on her back. At first I think about going for the choke, but I see that her arm's there, so I look to lock up a little bit of a gift wrap. With 9 seconds left, there wasn't really much time to set something up, so I end up just staying in this position until the round ends. I do apologize for the quality of the footage. We had to film from really far away since we didn't have access to the mat, but nevertheless, huge thank you to my mom for filming, my dad for coming out to support me, and my teammates who showed up. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you're enjoying this content, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!